Hey everybody, John with MashAndAsh, and I cannot wait to share this cigar with you. This is one of my new favorites. This is the Herrera Esteli Miami. I love Willie Herrera. I love what he's doing with cigars. I love his partnership with Drew Estates. I love the Herrera Esteli line. I've had a few different ones, but I have discovered that I really like the Miami. Now this is a Nicaraguan filler with an Ecuadorian binder and an Ecuadorian wrapper. So this is a product of Ecuador, and I cannot wait to get this cut, get this lit, and share it with you today. Hey, welcome. I'm so glad that you've taken the time to join us here. If you'd like to know a little bit more about MashAndAsh, you can find us all across the internet, TikTok, Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and even Odysee. Come find us there. We'd love to hang out, get to know you. We love to do bourbon, whiskey, and cigar reviews. And today, I get to sample and share with you one of my new favorites, this Herrera Esteli. Now this is rolled at the El Titan de Bronze factory in Miami's Little Havana. So this is a purely Ecuadorian product, but rolled in the good old United States of America. And I cannot wait to get this thing clipped, to get it lit, and to start sharing it with you guys today. So let's go. So decided to go for the V cut. I found that I really enjoy the V cut cigars, and excellent draw, excellent draw. So let's go ahead and get this thing lit. Wonderful taste of the Ecuadorian filler. I found that I really enjoy Ecuadorian filler, and the wrapper is not a Maduro, even though it's very dark, but it is such a great flavor. Definitely getting a little bit of pepper. The smoke is just very rich inside my mouth. The taste is exquisite. Unfortunately, I can't give you all the different cardamom or trees, or that's just not my style. But if you like a very good cigar, this Herrera Esteli Miami is definitely going to suit the bill. The smoke, the flavor of the smoke rolling across your tongue is just amazing. It's not too overpowering. It's not off-putting. It's just a solid flavor. Just that solid cigar taste that great cigars always bring. And the light, you could tell the ash. Really great. Nice line so far. We're gonna continue to smoke this down, and I'll let you know how it goes when we get a little further in. Cheers. Well, I've got good news and I've got some bad news. The ash fell off. So this is how far we're at. We're maybe at a quarter. I was not doing anything. I literally had my cigar on my stinky ashtray, which if you've ever been curious about any of the gear that we use, there's a link in the description that shows all the gear that I use. It's got my torch that basically is a creme brulee torch, which those are the best home torches possible. I wouldn't go traveling with that, but dude, it holds a ton of butane, and it is rock star solid, lights every time. And then I've got my Colibri dual straight and V cutter, just if you're interested. But back to the cigar, it fell off a little bit, so you can see that the smoke line is good, the burn line is really good. The downside is the ash fell off. The other problem was when it fell off, I didn't realize it. So I picked it up. I was like, holy cow. So that's the bad news. Good news is this cigar still is good. It's starting to lighten up a little bit. This is not a full body. This is more of a medium, on the fuller side of medium. So it's not overpowering. The smoke still, the flavor is really amazing. They say this is one of the closest to a Cuban cigar. A lot of the Herrera Esteli line are very Cuban-esque, of course, being rolled by hand down in Willie's family's cigars, the cigar store, I should say, the rolling area, the factory, if I can remember the name, down in Miami, which I think I'm going to have to make a trip because I would love to see Willie. My wife got to meet him at the Barn Smoker a few months back. Incredibly nice guy, very gracious. Did a quick video for us. He's a gregarious guy, a lot of fun, super great to my wife. But this cigar is still, the color on the ash is still really, really good. So there's not a lot of bad tobacco in here. It's wrapped incredibly well. What I love about tobaccos is the same thing that I love about bourbon and whiskey, is the tradition and the artistry that goes into it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that at all, but I want to try to get that right up to the camera. You could see the layers. Oh, there you go. The actual layers of rolled tobacco. I mean, tobacco rolling at its finest. I mean, it's just incredible. Really good. I retrohaled and unfortunately inhaled. Still learning. Still learning. All right, on to some more. All right, now we're coming up on the first band, the Miami band. That might be easier for you to see. The burn line is still pretty solid. The ash is still beautiful white gray ash. You can still see the design of the roll. I will say that after the first ash, it's starting to ash a little bit more consistently. And one of the least favorite thing about a cigar for me is when you take a puff, you take a draw, and that exhale is when some of the ash starts flicking off. And if you're anything like me, you probably have 2 or 3 shirts, or in the cooler months, I would constantly wear the same, I had a Reebok running jacket. There you go. That I wore a lot, and it was very thin, but it provided a lot of warmth, and I would go and it would get cooler. Living in Florida, it doesn't get super cool, but it gets cool enough to where, a little bit more substantive than a t-shirt or a long shirt. So you wear the jacket, and I put it on the other day, and it's got little itty bitty pinpricks where some of the ash has come off on the jacket, and I was like, well, that's my history of smoking cigars right there. But I'll tell you, this cigar is actually becoming lighter as I smoke it, and I wouldn't say sweeter in the sense that sweet like I'm eating candy, but it's becoming a little sweeter on the palate. It's becoming even more pleasurable. The smoke, the taste of the smoke in my mouth is becoming even much more pleasurable. And I find that when I first light a cigar, if it's my first cigar of the day, which this one is, the palate's not quite ready for it. I've just come off of having lunch, and my taste profile is already set for food, and you take that first couple of puffs, and it's a bit of a shock to my taste buds. But you get a couple of retrohales in, you start getting a little bit more of that. Oh, you get a little bit more of that tobacco smoke coursing through your sinuses. You start to get more of the flavors, and you get more of the really just the real essence of the cigar. And this is becoming very pleasurable, and that's why I love these Herrera Estelis. Actually, found out that I was mispronouncing it. It's Herrera Esteli. Esteli. I cannot. I'm Irish. It's hard for me to say some Latin names, but these Herrera Esteli are just, they're magical. And I love all the brands. I love the Norteño is a phenomenal cigar. I had one of my first one of those the other day. That's the great thing about, and I'm not, paid to say this by Drew Estates or Corona Cigars, but the Barn Smoker event, any event that you go and you get a bag of multiple cigars, they're all different types, usually multiple different brands. But when you go to like the Drew Estates farm, where Florida sun-grown cigars and the Drew Estate tobacco field, the Florida sun-grown tobacco is literally a half hour that way. You get a little bit more Drew Estate, which I'm fine with. But you get different types of the cigars, and there was one of these. There was a Norteño, and there was a couple others, but I've had multiple of the Herrera Estelis, and I think the Miami is my favorite. I think there's something about the history of it. Like I said before, history, tradition, artistry that goes into this is just outstanding. And as I've been smoking this, I've been watching a little bit more about Willie, learning a little bit more about his history. So I'm definitely planning a trip to go to South Florida, and we have family down in Lauderdale, so I think I might be making a trip down to Calle Ocho and see if I can pop in, maybe meet Willie himself. But yeah, this is a really incredible cigar. I know I say that a lot. There's very few cigars that I dislike. Usually if I'm featuring them here, I like them a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Miami wrapper off. So now we're just left with a good less than half of the cigar. And you can start to see some of the ashes actually flying off. Not a big breeze, but there's enough of a breeze that's blowing some of the ash off. But this is still a tremendous smoke. I'm doing this over my lunch hour, and there's no better way to spend lunch. But I will say this, I'm also having a little bit, because it's still a work day, having a little bit of Maker's Mark FAE02, which is one of their specialty releases, and it is influencing the cigar a little bit. Now you do get a little bit of kind of a whiskey aftertaste, and it could be influenced a little bit more by what I'm drinking. I would love to have another one of these, which I happen to have a couple in the humidor, and try this with some tequila, and maybe try it with some rum, and try it with some different adult beverages and see how that pairs. But so far, really, really good. Still some more smoking to do. Cigar, because I've been able to enjoy it. I've been able to spend time outside relaxing. I'm trying to sneak this in. We've got people mowing the grass, so hopefully it won't get too loud. But this Herrera Esteli, got the pronunciation correct, has been just a joy. And that is the true purpose of why I smoke cigars, why I choose to drink bourbon and whiskey, really any adult beverage along with it if I can. But I love cigars because it makes me slow down and really enjoy it. So the view that you see behind me is basically my backyard. And the reason that I love where I am is because I can come out at any time, even when it's raining, and I can experience this view with nature and the sunshine or the rain even, and just light a cigar and enjoy my time, reflect on my day, reflect on how things are going, And that is the joy of cigars for me personally. And when you marry that with an amazing cigar like this Herrera Esteli Miami, you just have the perfect way to spend an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on the size of your stick. This has been an incredible smoke. I highly encourage you to get yourself something not that expensive. There's somewhere $10 and under. Where I live, it might be a little bit more expensive, especially if you're ordering them online. But flavor, start to finish, excellent. It did mellow out a little bit halfway through. I am a little disappointed in the ash falling off, because that started a little bit of a avalanche effect where it just started ashing all over the place, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you can still see the wrap tobacco. And Willie, I know you're probably not going to see this, but if you do, thank you so much for everything that you do. He's been with Drew Estate since 2011, and everything that he's done has been incredible. So I love the cigar. I can't recommend it enough. I can't recommend anything that Herrera does enough. They're just amazing cigars. They're incredible. The flavor, the start, the finish, it's truly amazing. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've been able to get a little bit of the perspective on why I smoke and what I'm smoking today. I know that you're not going to get some of the specific notes on some of the flavor. Still learning, so you're going to be able to grow along with me as I get more tasting notes as I'm smoking these cigars. But guys, I just hope you're getting the fact that I love it, and I just want to share it with you. If you'd like to see a little bit more about what we do on MashAndAsh, you can always find us TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Odysee. You can find us on Instagram. Please come find us. Come share us, share a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this incredible cigar. Come see us on MashAndAsh. Guys, cheers. I hope you have, unlike this cigar, many, many long ashes. See you in the next one.